The topics and opinions expressed on the following show are solely those of the hosts and their guests and not those of W4WN Radio, its employees, or affiliates. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our web. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to W4WN Radio, its employees, or affiliates. Any questions or comments should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for choosing W4WN Radio.
Welcome to my show, Debi Changes Lives. I'm Debbie, your certified holistic health coach. I revitalize people's lives in many different areas of health and mindset by helping you identify your root cause. And I create a custom natural holistic strategy that addresses them in the areas of mind, body, and soul. As a health coach, I'm not allowed to say that I heal, treat, cure, prevent, or diagnose any diseases. I certainly can make your body more efficient by reducing symptoms. You'll feel better. You'll feel better. And okay. Anyways, what I do is I help you reduce symptoms so you feel better, be more productive, and enjoy life more. And not many people have released 70 pounds, had a health transformation, and kept fit and trim for over a decade. I have, and I have staying power. And it's actually been 11 years. And I actually became a half marathon runner at the age of 51. And I have done over 7 of them where I couldn't run my whole entire life during childhood to adulthood due to foot problems. Mindset's the key to lasting change. As a certified holistic health coach, I revitalize people's lives in different areas of health and mindset. I guide them to clean, toxic-free foods and high-quality essential nutrients. My coaching is for optimizing health, efficiently releasing weight, and enhancing your mindset. You will see and feel the differences with my coaching programs. Ask me about them at my complimentary consultation button of my link tree at Debi Changes Lives, DEBICHANGES LIV as in victory, es.com/linktree, and I'll guide you to a better, healthier life. With my mindset coaching, I help my clients recognize that their thoughts, feelings, and emotions drive their actions and results, sometimes good and sometimes bad. That's why it's crucial to have a positive mindset to succeed. And imperative for that you release those low vibrational energies of fear, frustration, and doubt that will slow you down and stop you. Like a hot air balloon that has ballasts. I help people release those emotional ballasts so they could lift up to a better, healthier life. In turn, they're releasing stress and reshaping their core beliefs. Today, I'm really excited to have Deborah Myers, a certified acupressurist, jiu-jitsu practitioner, and a 3 bestselling author, trainer, and wellness coach. Deborah Myers helps people get and stay healthy through her client sessions and programs. Deborah has helped thousands of people of all ages discover how to take charge of their own health. She founded Deborah Myers Wellness to treat, educate, and inspire and empower participants to achieve balance and integrative health. She's developed workshops, workplace wellness programs, and programs for children in the classroom as well as home. All her sessions can be virtual and in person. Deborah is a proud recipient of the prestigious Lifetime Achievement Award, plus many other accolades. Let's welcome Deborah Myers back, a certified acupressurist, back to my show. And Deborah, welcome back. And I know you had some issues going on. That's why I kind of paused here and there. You're all set now, right?
Yeah, there was some weird things happening with StreamYard or someone. What can I say?
Okay, but it's fixed now. So that's
it worked
cool.
Oh, well, what can we say?
What can you say? Exactly. I was going, okay, now what? Now what?
Technology.
But anyways, we're over that now. So let's start. Now, you teach self-help acupressure, a way for people of all ages to connect and take control of their bodies mentally, physically, emotionally, and take charge of it. How does what you teach cause that to happen?
Ah, well, here we go. Let's step right into it. Your body is an energy system. And as an energy system, it has rivers of energy that run through it vertically and diagonally. Along those rivers, in Eastern medicine, they're called meridians and channels. And along those meridians are multiple energy balance points. And when we touch them, we can help them get into balance just to get them talking to each other, because it's all about having the flow. You have the points talk to each other, and all of a sudden, any blockages that might be on those channels dissipate. They let go. You know why? Because those are rivers of energy. And imagine if something impacts your system, daily living, stress, tension, habits, emotional upset or trauma, physical injury or ailment, could be old and chronic, or could be new and acute, or the impact could be mental confusion, too much thinking, not enough thinking, cluttered thinking, chattered thinking, whatever the impact is. If the consequences of the impact are allowed to stay sitting on your system, it creates slowdown of those meridians.
Yes.
And imagine them as rivers, right? Just like rivers coming down the mountainside. And if those get challenged, they're going to get
Muddy.
and jammed up and start acting, looking like they have beaver dams. And any beaver dam slows everything down and creates stuff. So what you can do with your fingertips is hold specific energy balance points to remind the rivers to flow. And when the rivers flow, the breath follows. When the breath keeps expanding, the energy changes, and it allows the body on all layers and levels to say, I got the message, I'm ready to take care of you. Because this is a game of reciprocity. This is a game where you take care of your body, and your body's going to take better care of you.
And it will. And it connects and gets going. So that's the whole point of getting that flow going.
Exactly.
Exactly. Now, we all expect at this time of year that, most of us are doing what they think are resolutions. I prefer to call intentions.
Yeah, I like
the whole thing of setting goals and objectives in the new year. And tell you the truth, you can do this any time of the year. We don't need to wait for January to do all this stuff. But how does self-help acupressure help that along? And what do you suggest to improve our chances that we fulfill our desires and meet our goals?
All righty. So how it can help is when your body is in a state of flow, where those rivers are moving, you actually can assist your body to be in a state of manifestation, letting go of anything that's in the way. What are those? Old patterns, old habits, old stuff that create the ongoing, I'm going to go back. Body says, well, I'll go back to do that. I know how to do that. Well, we get to take responsibility, if you will, and step up to the challenge that you can be the best darn partner ever with your body, and get all of you, your whole body, and your cognitive and your emotions all on the same page at the same time. And that's when you get to be a participant and help whatever you're searching for take place. So you know what I'm going to suggest is a couple self-help acupressure tips. May I do that, Debbie?
Oh, go right ahead.
All right. So, you know how sometimes when you're thinking about something and then it gets to be mind chatter, but then it gets to be too much clutter, right? Mm-hmm. So there's a very simple thing, and it's kind of like, what is she doing? You might even say, oh, I know I do that. You're going to cup your forehead, okay, and cup the back of your head with your fingertips on the base of the skull. That's simple. And by the way, it's very, very light, gentle touch. When you do this, you are connecting with energy balance points that at the forehead are, and you can switch and do the other side if that feels good. What you're doing is at the forehead, those energy balance points are all about memory. They're all about connecting with mindfulness. And the backside at the occiput is all about consciousness and awareness. Put the two together, it creates clarity and focus and productivity and ease to go on to the next step.
And I find it really helpful that if you breathe, like inhale with your nose and
I
exhale.
was just going to say that. Yeah. Because what you're also doing is whenever you're doing any energy balance points, it's helping the breath flow. And
Yes.
if you consciously breathe with it, bring in a fantastic inhale, bring in the exhale. I said bring in, and I meant it that way.
Yeah.
Because when your body has enough inhale and then you let go of it, it
Mhm.
creates more space for the next inhale. You
Yeah.
got to let go to help have room to receive more.
So
And
what I
that's what this is all about.
so
Is
what I do is I
receiving
breathe
more.
in and I actually hold and then I go.
Yeah. You know, another one that maybe I've taught you this before, maybe you know it. Did you know that if you put your tongue directly behind your front teeth, it's
Uh-huh.
called the master hookup?
Oh yeah.
And it's literally connecting with the vagus nerve. Now, I usually save this sort of stuff for my courses of study, but I can't help myself with you. I just can't. Okay. So when you do that, it literally opens up the channel of integrated breath. So you do this at the same time, you put your tongue behind your front teeth at the roof of your mouth, and all of a sudden it happens. Another one that is beautiful. Have you ever noticed that when you are thinking, and trying, you get caught up in a pattern of it consistently being that way, and you never can get beyond it, and then all of a sudden you're procrastinating because it got to be too much, and then you start being hard on yourself? I want you to do something so simple. Just simply cup your little finger. Does not matter which one. And you can hold your hands in your lap to do this.
Yeah.
And then maybe you go to the other hand and hold that little finger. Light, gentle cupping. When you're doing that, you're connecting with an energy balanced space that's all about letting go of the trying tos. Trying too hard, trying too much, trying to do it all. That place of efforting, that when it becomes a description of what you're doing, it's too much. It gets in your way. So when you do this, which is, by the way, part of, I'm going to show you more of the daily clean your house flow, which is a 9-step self-help acupressure flow. The very last 9th step is jumper cabling, where you hold each thumb and finger one at a time, a couple good breaths, light, gentle touch. You do one hand starting with the thumb, then go to the next hand, starting with the thumb to the little finger. Each one of these fingers, your digits, are connecting with letting go of emotions that might be stopping you. Now, emotions are important. They give us information. They help us to recognize what's going on in this body, this world, this house you're walking around in. And the emotions, like I said, are important. And yet, if they're getting really, really big and taking your breath away, you're not going to get anywhere very fast. So simply just off and on throughout the day, try it, folks. Just gently cup each thumb and finger, a couple good breaths, and you may very well find that in and of itself can do the trick. And then imagine putting that together with the other 8 steps that are part of the daily clean your house flow.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're going to start asking, what is the daily clean your house flow?
Yeah, what is it? But first I want to just mention that, if your breath is taken away, maybe that should be a representation that you need to start doing this because it'll help you breathe.
Correct. And if it's helping you breathe, it's also helping with energy flow. It's helping with blood flow. It's helping with nerve pathways being open to allow the nervous system to be available to you to calm yourself down.
Yes, exactly. And
Yeah.
that's what I find. And I actually use my fingers, because you're cupping it. Sometimes if I want to count a certain number, I just kind of, do this type of thing with my fingers and a little slower, and that's regulating the breathing for each finger the exact same way.
And one of the things that happens in a 10-week course I teach, I teach acupressure flows that correspond to each one of these fingers, but also correspond to each one of the organs in your body.
That's
You
fabulous.
actually can be such an exceptional partner with your body that you are taking care of it so it can take care of you.
Right, right.
And I believe each and every person has that ability. We just need to be shown a technique that's easy to learn, easy to remember, and easy to get around to doing because the benefits are noticeable. They're notable, which is
Yeah.
why I've been teaching I've been in private practice for over 30 years, and I've been teaching almost the whole time. It was my clients who talked me into it because I was always giving them self-care guidance. They said, well, you just teach a workshop. And that was like 27 years ago, and I've been teaching ever since. And because I can't help myself, I want each and every person to recognize you can make a difference. And so, yes, I see clients one-on-one, virtually and in person. I have clients all over the world because I can do it and we can do it together virtually. And when I show them what they can do for themselves, it extends the benefits of the session. You get more and more out of it. So for instance, even if you started doing the self-help that I'm talking about, before exercise, after exercise, before working in the garden, before, during, after vacuuming, before you're going to take a hike, before anything, and then during and after, you will get so much more out of it. And you can even potentially prevent injury.
That's cool.
It's very cool.
And it also helps you sleep too. So if you, for some reason, you're put through a stressful situation and you're anxious, it's hard to meet your goals, right?
Yes.
So, and I don't like the word try because that brings in some anxiousness in you. I prefer do.
Well, not only
because it gives you more confidence.
Right.
So pretty much what you're teaching people is this guidance with self-pressure, acupressure.
It is like acupuncture. It's touch rather than needle, though.
There's no needles.
Yeah.
But it will help you. So, since we kind of brought into this topic, is there anything else you want to add? Because you've been kind of adding that. You already said a lot of the stuff. There's probably some other things you may want to add to it too.
Yeah. So this thing called the daily clean your house flow. Okay. I wrote it years ago for my clients and then for my students because I wanted everyone to have something they could do on a daily basis that would give them a firm foundation to always step from. So for myself, every single morning I start the day doing this 9-step daily clean your house flow. I end every day with it. And it helps sleep pattern. And I call it the daily clean your house flow because it recognizes that the body you walk around is your house. And if you clean it out every day, get rid of the dust bunnies and cobwebs, give it a darn good vacuuming, you're ahead of the game. You're going to be better prepared for whatever you're going to ask your body to do and whatever might come towards it. And I'm talking physical, mental, emotional, or spiritual. You're able to be a congruent being with every piece and part of you easily having alignment and integration.
Yes.
And easily able to have a conversation. I just said your body's going to have a conversation. Yes. Each piece and part of you has its own mind. And it wants to speak its mind.
Yeah, it does communicate with each other. So,
yeah. So when you
even bacteria communicates with it.
When you help your body feel the balance and harmony of the flow and the breath that corresponds with it, you give your body and the whole being the opportunity to more easily be able to listen to yourself, listen to the body. So walk around in a body that feels that balance and harmony, that integration, that stability, that firm foundation. It will more easily get your attention if something's nagging at it or if something's going to start going awry. What might that be? Well, do you have chronic things that happen? Do you chronically, for instance, get sinus constriction because of allergies in the spring? It's just a question.
Mhm.
Well, if you know that's the case, you could be very proactive and
Yes.
do specific energy balance points that help your body not go there. I have worked with clients through the years. When I first started working with them, they would have such chronic sinus constriction that they would end up with sinus infection, and then they'd have to go into antibiotics. I have several clients who haven't had to do that process for years now because they're ahead of the game.
Because they're more aware of what's going on with their body and they hit it at the pass.
Exactly. And when your body has that availability of being able to feel the congruence, it's going to get your attention. I'm going to talk physical right now because sometimes that's easier for folks to recognize. And then we can talk about getting out of our own way and taking care of goals, right? But let's right now talk about the fact that you probably would love to walk around in a body that does not have aches and pains and whatever the case may be. So one of the energy balance points, again, I can't help myself, Debbie, that's just the way I am, is to hold the outside of your knees, light, gentle touch. And when you hold your fingertips right on right and left on left at the outside of your knees, there's no wrong because there's no right. Just find a point, find an area and hold. That is a pattern changer. That energy balance area is all about repatterning, reprogramming, giving your body a new habit, a new way of being. It's also an anti-inflammatory point. So holding that point in conjunction at the same time with an area of your body that has a tendency to get inflamed and tight and constrict. So if you get a tight neck, you hold here. And if you're holding your right neck, yeah,
Yes.
then hold your left hand on the outside of your left knee.
And that's what I'm doing.
And that is that simple. That gives your body that message that this does not have to be tight and constricted.
Yes.
And it can be that quick. It'll be even quicker if you have given your body the information of the stability, the foundation. And I love professing that the daily clean your house flow does the trick because it's connecting with every single system in your body. And it's super simple to do, to such an extent that I bring this into schools, teaching kids, elementary school kids, how to do it. And it was actually a group of teachers who were my clients and had taken my workshops and started taking what I taught them into the classroom. So they were taking the daily clean your house flow into the classroom and teaching them. And they came back to me and saying, would you just create a real program? And I started thinking about it.
Yeah, and the program is named Productive Mindfulness Program for Kids. So that's what you developed.
Yes, thank you. And it was the teachers who asked me to do it. So I was busily trying to figure out what this PowerPoint thing was going to be. And it was actually one of my clients, a phenomenal artist. Her name is Jamie, who said, when she heard about what I was up to, she said, let's make an animated video of the daily clean your house flow. So I hired her, hired a professional voiceover person, put it all to voice and music. And on my website, folks, and you're going to see it in the description, you can go to a special link that gives you access to that animated video. It's on my website. All you have to do is put in your name and email address. There's no charge. It used to be a paid for product along with books that I've written. And the books are still available for purchase. And when March 2020 hit, and I was so distressed, if you will, about what was going on in the world with that thing called the pandemic, that I reached out to my website folks and my marketing folks and said, make it free. Take it out of, I had a whole e-commerce site and everything. I said, take it free. It's my gift. Because I want every single kid to have availability of what they can do for themselves to not take on the stress of what was going on in the world. I wanted every single parent to be able to be not only a parent that could be there to nurture and care for, but also to be a teacher, because now the parents were asked to be teachers. And I wanted every teacher to have access to it because everybody was teaching differently. I wanted every healthcare provider to be able to have access. So please, if you're interested, go to the animated video, and that will walk you through each of the 9 steps of the
Oh,
daily clean your house flow.
cool. Now that's great. So, and I know that there's a recent tragedy that just recently happened that you mentioned locally, and helped these kids through that
Oh my,
tragedy.
thank you for mentioning that. It was amazing. And that whole story, by the way, is on my blog page if you want to go and check it out. It's a heartthrobber. I had taught, so my productive mindfulness school program is a school assembly, and locally I do it in person or regionally. And then I have a workshop for parents and a workshop for teachers. So the whole community gets all the information at the same time, because I want everybody to be able to support each other. So
Right.
they had received the whole program. And then months later, they get a gun threat.
Mm-hmm.
And it created a lockdown and an evacuation. I mean, those poor kids, plus the teachers.
Yes.
And the parents were sitting at the local fire station waiting for the kids to be bused there. And everybody's just, shh. So the next day I contacted the principal and said, I'm here for you. Do you want another school assembly? She goes, yes, but what I really want is I want you to come and be with the kids. So I was there within a few days, and I spent several hours in a room that the principal and I called the calming room. And the kids just came in. And as I'm showing them, and I'm not talking about the fiasco, I'm talking about being happy, feeling safe, feeling taken care of, finding a way. What are you doing to be happy?
Yes.
What are you doing to be doing better? What will make your light shine? What will make your heart happy? And I'm showing them, and this one 9-10-year-old kid goes, well, Miss Deborah, you taught that to us last time. I do it all the time. It works. It works so well. It really helped me on that bad day.
Mm-hmm.
And then another little kid says, I like that one, but I like this one better. So he's showing all of the students in this room another idea. And then here comes another idea. You know what one of the most favorites was? Not only the jumper cables, the one where you're cupping each thumb and finger a few breaths at a time, but may I show you that if you right now bring your fingertips underneath your collarbones, so you're going just like this. And as you slide your fingertips towards the sternum, you'll feel that triangular space right there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, right where the first rib and the collarbone come together. Doesn't matter which hand you choose. Cup it so the thumb is on one side and the fingertips on the other, like this. Light, gentle touch.
Mm-hmm.
And hold it. And with your other hand, hold your tummy. So your fingertips are down on your tummy, right below your navel. And when you're there, you're connecting with energy balance areas that are working together to bring calm, to bring breath, to bring ease. It works so well, it will release tension in your face, in your jaw, in your throat. It will create breath. And it will bring fluidity, which is why all of a sudden, if you're doing this, and maybe it's working so well, you want to switch to do the other side.
Okay.
You may even notice that all of a sudden, you have more saliva in your mouth.
Yeah.
You feel that?
Yes, I do.
And all of a sudden, that saliva starts pooling at the back of your throat. And guess what? It's giving you the ability to swallow easier. So this step works so well. I teach it to professional singers because it opens up their breath. It opens up their throat and their voice box. It allows them to project their voice easier because it's now coming from their tummy and diaphragm. And all of a sudden, so imagine if it can help professional singers. It can help you, anyone who wants to speak on stage, anywhere, on a podcast, or it can just help you speak your truth. And isn't that something we need to do when we're talking about stepping into 2025, is to speak truth to yourself?
Yes.
Right? And so doing this, when you are sitting down to write your desires, your objectives, your wishes, to do this, give this as a gift to yourself, while you're writing. Off
Yes.
and on, just give your, and it brings breath and it allows everything to be easier, more available. And that's what this stuff called self-help acupressure brings to you in all parts of your body. The ability to be the best darn partner you would ever be. In fact, one of the kids I've worked with, the first step of the daily clean your house flow, by the way, is to give yourself a hug, light, gentle touch. And it brings up breath and creates calm. And it works with the vascular system. And so this little girl was doing this a lot. So much so that at one point she said, because I was talking about becoming a good partner and being a friend, she goes, well, my best friend is me and my body.
Mm-hmm.
I just saw the clear blue. And so when I was going to do that school assembly that we were talking about,
Yes.
if you go to my website and check out that page, school and youth programs, you'll see the 2.5-minute clip of me in front of 250 kids. And they're all K through 3 and another one for 4 through 6. And they're all participating, interacting, doing it, smiling at each other. Everyone is there in the moment. Well, when she found out, this little 7-year-old found out I was going to be at her school doing the school assembly, and I'd already taught her what to do, she asked whether she could get in front of her friends to show them what she does to have calm and have breath. I mean, how special is that?
That's really cute. Yes.
And she's in front of 250 kids of her fellow students showing them.
She was very brave, and obviously it gave her a lot of courage, right?
Yeah. Well, she had it because she'd gone from extremely anxious to being really sure of herself.
Yes.
Hear that? Being sure of herself. Now, when I see this 9-year-old, I think that's how old she is now. She just turned 9. When I see her, she is so sure of herself. She dances ballet. She's in production. She sings. She went from being anxious to being willing to show how happy she can be on stage.
And this definitely works with adults too. So
it does. So that's why I'm showing it to you, is because when we do something like that, and I'd love to invite you to check out the animated video and find the 9 steps and see how they work with each other. And then step into taking care of yourself a little bit more and make use of those steps to write your goals and objectives.
Exactly.
And then get out of your own way to go forward.
Yeah. And reach your desires of your goals, right?
Yeah. And by the way, if you hold the outside of your knees off and on while you are doing anything, it takes away the efforting, the doing, and takes you to the pattern of being. Because that point in Jinshin Jitsu, which is an ancient form of Japanese acupressure, the outside of the knees, it's all about repatterning because it's about rhythm, strength, and peace. So imagine when you are holding the outside of your knees or in the daily clean your house flow, that step is also palming your calves. One or the other, it doesn't matter. When you are in that vicinity, you are bringing a message to your body that you are, honey, you're telling your body, I love you, and you're in rhythm, and you're in strength, and you're in peace.
Yes, yes. And also, I guess if I remember correctly, it brings down inflammation.
Yes, it's a big one for that.
So what's that doing is bringing down noise in your body system.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Definitely said. Because if there's a lot of chatter going on, it's not necessarily just up here.
Yes.
If your body is not in a state of congruency, of balance, of harmony, where all those rivers are flowing easily and effortlessly with no beaver dams on them, then if it's building up beaver dams and the sluggishness and the cesspools of toxin, but that's what happens. Then that creates noise.
It creates noise. And that's what I help people too, just in a different approach.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I know you do that. And imagine, folks, for those of you who work with Debi, that if you did some of these simple self-help acupressure tips, if you will, that you will get further along in your program.
Yes, they will.
Yeah.
I mean, it certainly helped me. So that's why I should have you on my show again.
All right. Yeah, I love being on your show. Let me tell you. Thank you for having me again.
And, another thing, we were talking about, a traumatic event with children, and obviously some teachers were involved. But sometimes people, like I work with people, with things that happened in the past and letting go and that is okay to learn from, or, it's not something to relive all the time. And what's great about what you offer is that you're helping the body not be so, so to speak.
Yeah, not be on the edge.
Exactly. And to release that energetic nervous vibration, nervous, and like I said, you need to release that fear, frustration, and doubt, because all it's going to do is slow you down. Like you said at the beginning, your body is slowing down with those downs and things like that. And eventually it will stop you. It will just stop you.
Yeah.
And so what's great about your acupressure techniques is that you're helping people recognize those triggers, which is kind of like I tell people, well, now you have a trigger. Just remember that you have a trigger. Look at your sign. Look at your stop hand sign, which is kind of like a stop sign. And what are you going to do about it? You need to start working on your work with me or Deborah or whatever, is helping you through that journey.
Yeah.
And utilize those tools that we give you.
Right. And with that in mind, one of the offers I've made that's in the description is the opportunity for you to reach out to me and have a consultation. I won't charge you for that consult. And I would love to have you reach out if you have any questions about what we're talking about now. If you have any questions about the daily clean your house flow after you watch the animated video. And if you just want to find out what is she going to suggest to me with what I have going on. And by the way, if you have something going on, I don't call them problems. I don't like that word. I hate labels, period. I call, instead of problems, it is projects, because projects are a lot more fun to work with and they have a beginning and an end. So have fun with letting go and enjoying the new way of being.
Yes.
That's what your body wants.
Video is so cute.
Oh, thank you.
It's one of those little, drawings being drawn, and then she kind of, it's just a really cute video. So it is appealing to kids, but it's also appealing to adults.
Yes.
And it's only 6.5 minutes long.
I know.
You can keep on watching it over and over again if you want and follow with it. Or, for me, it's just like once I got it down to a certain pattern, I'm sure I can do the pattern. I can do everything maybe a little bit out of order, and I'll still get to the same result.
Yeah.
It is a great offer, and having a 60-minute consultation.
I know.
That is so generous of you.
Thank you.
And you could do that at your calendar link, and you just look up for the Deborah Myers Wellness /60-minute conversation. And of course, this says month for this month. But my whole point is that you can create an appointment and get to know her. That's the whole purpose, is to get to know somebody that can help you, including me, just setting up an appointment just to get to know the person. Because if you're comfortable with that person, then you can actually really foster a relationship and move forward with your health and get a lot out of it.
Yeah. Yeah. So yes, we're here today talking about, moving into 2025 and helping it be the season of thriving, no matter what you're searching for, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. And the beauty is that everything that we're talking about is supporting the whole being. So no matter what your body is trying to get your attention about, whether you want more for setting up 2025, or whether your physical body would love to let go of that project, whether it be inflammation, whether it be gut issue, whether it be headaches, whether it be sleep patterns, whatever. If you're just searching for easier methodology to come up with clarity and focus and productivity, if you're searching for ways to let go of specific projects like allergies, help your body release that stuff called asthma, whatever. I hate labels, by the way, but I'm just going to throw these. Yeah.
It just
any project
permanently sewed on, and they're not.
it's just a moment in time. It's a condition, and what the body will get used to is giving you the information so you can release it. Just like this morning, I had a Zoom session with a client who I've had for 27 years. And when he first started working with me, he had surgery was imminent. He had major back issues. He was referred to me. I started working with him, and immediately his body released the blocked stuffedness that just was creating the pain and the constant inflammation. And all of a sudden, he was just moving.
Yes.
He was doing it. He was.
That's what happens when you bring down, well, obviously get the flow going and also bring down the inflammation. Which I can do with as well.
And this man, who, by the way, is an excavator, and how many folks in my industry can say they have an excavator in their back pocket, but literally, I mean, he refers like you wouldn't believe. He continued to work as hard as excavators work.
That's a lot.
And he stays ahead of the game because he knows the energy steps to do.
That's fantastic.
He never had to have surgery.
That's wonderful.
And he just keeps moving. Now, if that man can make it through all that he asks his body to do, and you're not asking your body to work that hard, imagine what you can accomplish with whatever you're up to. For myself, I'm an avid gardener. I love my garden, and I work hard in it, and I get really dirty. Well, I got to assure you that one of the steps that is in the daily clean your house flow, which is cupping your shoulder and hold, and then that other hand, sit on it. Okay? Sit on it. And you're connecting with an energy balance area here that's all about its desire to release any accumulation of anything.
Okay.
And then you do the other side. And I use this proactively before, during, and after gardening, before or during and after exercise.
Okay.
Whatever it might be.
Yeah. And why don't you mention your program, the GPS Mind Body, very quickly?
Okay.
Spirit.
Yes, I'd love to. Thank you. Starting February 12th, I have a 10-week course starting, 10 Wednesdays in a row. It's virtual. It's from 6 to 8 on Wednesday evenings. So that, again, is Pacific time. And you get a copy of the manual I've written, and you get a full GPS study guide. GPS for body, mind, and spirit. That's why I call it GPS. Get the roadmap that allows you to create the body you want to live in, work in, enjoy in, and travel in. Go wherever you want to with this body. And it is 10 weeks of learning Jin Shin Jitsu, which is the energy balance points, and then studying about all the organs and their associated meridians. It's a lot of information, and guess what? Debbie knows this. I make it fun.
Yeah,
if
she
it's
sure
not
does.
fun, it's not worth it. It's got to be fun. And so the last time I did this, I had people who just wanted to get the information and learn it for themselves, for their own bodies. And then I had physical therapists. I had an acupuncturist. I had a therapist. I had someone who was learning it for purposes of ongoing study in her medical practice.
Yes.
And all of those healthcare providers were bringing the information in to blend with what they already offer their clients.
Yes, and that's something I feel like I would like to do as well. Well, I want to thank you for being on my show. I truly love Deborah's acupressure techniques have helped me. I even use it while I run for a long run, and it helps relax my neck. So thank you for being my show, and I'll have you back. Please stick around for closing remarks, okay?
I'd appreciate it. And I thank you because I appreciate you so much.
Well, thank you. So remember, I do revitalize people's lives in many different areas of health and mindset. I guide you to clean toxic free foods because I'm correcting your gut. I'm also guiding you to high quality nutritional products that will reduce symptoms. You'll feel better, possibly lose weight, and uplift your mood. With my mindset coaching, I help you reduce and release your emotions, stress, and entanglements in the past, and also reshape your core beliefs. Your mindset will become enhanced. Of course, the health optimization and as well as the weight release are making your body more efficient. Ask me about my programs, my complimentary consultation button in my link tree, which is at Debi Changes Lives, DebiChangesLives, as in victory, es.com/link tree. And when you do that, you get to know me, I get to know you, and I'll guide you to optimum health. And there's several assessments I have. I have a health evaluation where you rate your symptoms in the last 30 days in 4 categories of health. Some questions are repeated. You will get a health score. I review it with you. Now, when you move forward with my services, I'll create that custom natural holistic strategy for you and monitor you through this process monthly. I also have 2 different body Zyto scans. This does cost. And the Zyto Link is a transdermal optical imaging app that I send to your phone. It's something that's remotely. And you scan your face for 30 seconds. It's only looking for components of energetic, functional, emotional, as well as and I already said emotional components in your and lifestyles and health categories, and it creates a wellness report with all those biomarkers at a range and products and services that bring it back into range. I do review it with you. It does cost money for these scans. It's $75, and it's quite intensive. And these are a transdermal optical imaging app that you can look up on pubmed.gov. People are really amazed what their body tells them through the scan, and you'll be too. So curious, you get yours now. And on the side of my programs. Take Your Body Back is a 12-week weight release program with mindset coaching, as well as a new version of you that's going to drive you for success. All coaching is done on Zoom, and the first one's private to you because I go through your health analysis. And I give you a choice between 2 meal plans and directions. I give you a choice how to create a new version of you and an avatar brother drive you with emotion and passion to achieve your health and weight transformation. The rest of the coaching, whether it's private or group, we'll be celebrating your wins, not getting you over gaps with health and mindset tips. You can ask me questions at a consultation, or you can watch a previous episode of Holistic Self-Love for more information. Now, YFAST is an intermittent fasting program. You can use a smaller program for that, 2 or 4 week program, or you can use smaller programs for mindset enhancement as well as health optimization. But truly, those 2, the health enhancement and the health optimization, are longer programs. So you probably want to get the larger program or a custom program. I also have, for a limited time, Debi's coaching chats, which is a 30-minute complimentary consultation session in an intimate group setting, and it's not recorded. And there's topics I will cover. You can look at this video for them or contact me. These sessions are on Tuesdays at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, and you go to DebiChangesLives.com, this time /chat, CHTS, to learn what my coaching is all about. Then I have I have an offer where you can utilize a 30-day health and mindset action journal by subscribing to my newsletter, which is at DebiChangesLives.com, radio, TV show. You'll be listening to your gratitudes, thoughts, and feelings, the food, water, nutritional supplements, exercising on a daily basis, and even track your measurements. And you want to review it on a daily, weekly, monthly basis to see your wins and celebrate them and find your gaps. And I can help you get over those gaps. I'm certain that you found this show educational, inspiring, and enjoyed it. Reach out to me for my products, services, and offers, and reach out to Deborah for her programs and services. Do we have time for her to come back?
Hey, I'm back. Hi. So what? Oh, thank you. I just loved hearing about the gratitude, because I want you to know that when you take care of your body, mind, and spirit in the way Debi's talking about, using her program, using mine, it's all about then having such success that you can't help but be in gratitude to yourself. It's giving that information, right?
Yes.
And if you're at all interested in learning more about my upcoming course, please reach out and set up a consult. Send me an email if you want, and let's talk about it. And do so before February 12th, because that's when it's starting. So if you have any questions at all, please reach out. And if Calendly isn't working for you, email me or call me.
Okay, fun.
Okay.
Fantastic. Thanks for being here.
Thank
So
you.
continue to enjoy my radio and TV show, Debbie Changes Lives, on Thursdays at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, where your holistic journey begins.